True classic. Now there are new, never-before-seen images found in home movies shot on the set of Gone with the Wind 60 years ago. David Janssen is assistant director of Bruce Moore, the estate in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where the film was found. And Herb Bridges is an author and collector of Gone with the Wind memorabilia. Gentlemen, good morning. Nice to see you both.
Oh, good morning to you.
David, let me start with you. Tell me where this footage has been for the past 60 years.
Well, Mr. Hall, the person who lived in this mansion, had the collection in the house, just as we would sort of store our home movies and videos. And then when we became a museum property of the National Trust for Historic Preservation, we were able to incorporate those into with the rest of our archival material.
You were going through some canisters. You were seeing a lot of vacation footage, you know, our trip to California, etc., when suddenly you saw one labeled Gone with the Wind. What was his connection with the movie?
We're not quite sure. He was a very wealthy man and a very influential man here regionally. He had quite a few business connections in California, and that took him to California on a number of occasions to check on those investments, and apparently one of his friends got him onto the set. He was also an avid home movie buff, and he took his camera with him. One
thing that struck all of us as we watched this footage earlier this morning is what great condition it's in. But it wasn't that way initially, was it, David?
Now, we spent an awful lot of time, about 3 years on this project, preserving all of this film. There are 23,000 feet of home movies, and the Gone with the Wind segment is a small part of that. We spent a great deal of time trying to make sure that this film would survive for a few more centuries.
Herb Bridges, you're pretty excited about this footage. Why? There's really nothing like this, correct?
Oh, no.
There's Clark Gable, by the way. I just wanted to point him out. And there's Vivien Leigh. You'll see her take a drag of a cigarette in a few minutes. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Herb.
No, I've never seen this before, the behind the scenes, only black and white stills before. And also that it's in color. It just amazes me that a home movie was made in color in that day and time in 1939.
The only thing that has been available are what, screen tests for certain roles in this movie?
Yes, the screen tests are available, but most of them are black and white. There are very few Technicolor or color screen tests even available.
There's Leslie Howard, a.k.a. Ashley Wilkes.
Yes.
And obviously this was from the big picnic scene, which was probably one of the most complicated scenes in the movie, although I guess nothing compares to the burning of Atlanta, right, Herb?
No, it was filmed at Busch Gardens, and they simply rented the gardens for several days of filming and so forth, and you can see the tremendous amount of extras that were used there and how they had to be costumed and so forth.
Right, and I think you can see Victor Fleming, one of the 3 directors who worked on this movie at some point in the film, and there obviously is Olivia de Havilland.
Yes.
Is that Leslie?
No, it's just one of the extras on the set. Both of those, that was her stand-in. That was not Mr. Havilland.
Oh, that wasn't? Wow, no. It sure looked like her. How did you know that?
Of course, it was a stand-in.
How did you know that was her stand-in?
Well, I mean, you can look at her and tell Mr. Havilland is still alive and a dear friend.
I was hoping that I would see the Tarleton twins somewhere. Is that Victor Fleming in the
Yes,
in
that
the
is
blue
he,
shirt?
seated there, yes, in the suit.
Oh, in the suit, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Well, how did you get so interested in all things Gone with the Wind, Herb?
Well, I just live in Atlanta, and of course it's very dear to us here, particularly the book, and then of course into the film. The film was all made in California. Nothing was filmed in Georgia, which most people can't realize, but it was all in California on sets.
So what do you think this means to Gone with the Windophiles?
Oh, I think they will be delighted to see the behind the scenes, particularly the movement, you know, a film, not a black and white still of something that was there. I'm delighted with it and can't wait to, you know, really view it and see it a bit better.
I didn't think they had sunglasses back in the Civil War era.
With Leslie Howard wearing the sunglasses, I think that amazes me.
But David, what's going to happen to this footage?
Well, we're working on ways to make it available to the public. It's currently now available for researchers, for historians to view, as are all of our archival material. We're hoping to get some of them produced in a video format to have in our museum store and in our new visitor center.
And Herb, you're hoping to get a copy of this for part of your exhibition?
Yes, of course. I want to very much.
Well, it's pretty cool. I like just sitting here watching it all. And of course, there once again is
that's a stand-in.
That's a stand-in?
Yes, of course. That's not Mr. Havilland.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm positive. Yes, of course. That's her stand-in. I don't know her name, but I'm sure I can find out.
David, is that her stand-in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's Gable sitting over there having a cigarette next to his trailer, and there's Vivien Leigh.
Because they're setting up that shot, and
sure.
Mr. Hall has access to the stand-in.
Yes.
I guess Olivia wouldn't be out there sitting on the grass and doing all that.
No, not waiting until everything was set up.
All right. Well, Herb Bridges and David Janssen, thanks so much for joining us. It's interesting to watch.
Oh, thank you. It was
Thank you.
delightful.
It's 7:50. We'll be back with more on this.